Hello and welcome to 622 Props and Picks TV MLB slate breaking down the action. I'm Adam, joined by Frank. Frank, how did your picks go yesterday? Your mic's muted.
You mean 2 days ago?
Sure.
Yeah, I hit my parlay, 3 leg parlay again. I think we're like 80% winners that day.
All right, good. Yeah, mine are going absolutely terrible. But maybe today will be different. 14 games, Baltimore, New York already kicked off. First game, we have Detroit versus Tampa Bay. Casey Mize versus Zach Littell. Detroit's a minus 115 favorite. Over under set at 8.5 runs. And then looking at this game here, I'm going Detroit. Casey Mize has been the much better pitcher. Um, in terms of the Detroit lineup, I also don't mind Kerry Carpenter over 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs. Outside of that, yeah, just give me Detroit. No money line or no spread though on this one. What about you?
Uh, I'm actually leaning maybe the over here. Detroit and Tampa Bay bats have been heating up, and also I'll probably lean slightly Detroit Tigers. So I'll probably take Detroit Tigers and the over, but I'm not too sure in this game. And because Mize has a better ERA, not too
Oh,
sure though.
all right. Moving on, Texas versus Pittsburgh. Jack Leiter versus Bailey Falter. Pittsburgh's minus 115 favorite, and over under is at 9.5 runs. And I'm not sure why Pittsburgh is favored in this matchup, to be honest with you. Jack Leiter's been doing good this year. And I'm going with Texas in this matchup. And give me Corey Seager to hit a home run today. Over 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs. What about you?
I'm actually slightly leaning the Pirates actually, but this game's really a toss up for me. It shows that Falter has a better ERA, but Pittsburgh Pirates like bats are the lineup is worse than the Texas lineup, so it's really a toss up for me. I'm leaning a little slightly Pirates, but I wouldn't put this on any parlays or really put any money on it right now.
All right, fair enough. Moving on, next matchup. Chicago is facing Toronto yet again. I feel like this must have been a four-game series. They've been facing each other every day. Adrian Hauser going up against Chris Bassett. Toronto is a minus 205 favorite, over under at 8.5 runs. Who do you have in this one?
I'm gonna go the Jays, minus 1.5 runs probably. Uh, Toronto Blue Jays has just been a much better team. Chris Bassett has been doing pretty well this year.
Yeah, I'm going to go Toronto minus 1.5 as well. I also like Bo Bichette to go over on hits, runs, RBIs. I'm tempted to go Vlad Guerrero, but he has not been producing when I bet him, and Bichette has been doing really well as of late. So give me him over 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs. And do we have? I'm trying to get us our main page back real quick, and it is not working. Let me try it one more time. Starting lineups. Hey, and we're back. Okay. Okay, moving on. Atlanta versus Miami. We got Bryce Elder going up against Sandy Alcantara. Atlanta's minus 152 favorite, over under at 8.5 runs. And as I look at this, I noticed that Sandy Alcantara's ERA looks like it has come down a little bit since the last time that he has. I've been looking. Yeah, he's been pitching better as of late. So it's encouraging that he's starting to get back to maybe some level of normalcy. But he is going up against an Atlanta lineup that is very good. And I do like Atlanta here, minus 152. Alcantara against this lineup. See if anybody pops off. Marcell Ozuna, but Marcell Ozuna has not been doing well this season, so I don't think I would pull the trigger on that. But nobody here really in this Atlanta lineup that I want to sort of target. I do like the over in this game as well, but probably wouldn't pick any specific players. What about you?
Um, yeah, as you said, El Cantera, his ERA has come down a lot. I think it was above 8 before, but he's been pitching better in the last couple games. But as you said, he's facing Atlanta Braves team that's at full strength right now. The lineup, Bryce Elder is doing what I think better than last year against the Miami Marlins. So I'm tempted to go one minus 1.5 Atlanta Braves, but I'll just take the money line right here.
Yeah, that that is tempting. Especially when you just, I mean, you think of, I mean, you look at their records though, which is crazy. They're not even that different, but Atlanta is definitely the more talented team. But yeah, I don't think I could also pull the trigger on the -1.5. Moving on, we got Quinn Priester going up against David Festa, Minnesota. Milwaukee versus Minnesota. Minnesota's a -128 favorite. Over under is at 9.5 runs. And yeah, yet again, I'm not really sure why Minnesota is favored in all of these games. Yesterday I picked the Brewers to win. Brewers won. I'm going Brewers again. Just because of the money line discrepancy, they're probably going to lose some of these games, but yeah, I just think Quinn Priester and Milwaukee should be lined as favorites here. Um, Also, give me Christian Yelich to go for 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs. I usually like to go the Churio route, but Churio's been letting me down here recently, but he could also be someone you look to. But yeah, give me Milwaukee here. What about you?
Yeah, I'll choose the Milwaukee too because I think the Twins. Who was the starting pitcher? You said, oh, Colomberry.
Um, Quinn Priester, David Festa. Minnesota's using two pitchers again today, so they just picked one of the two.
Yeah, so that's what I thought because in ESPN it has Danny Coulombre, so I wasn't sure. So it's probably a split or maybe a bullpen game. So I'm just gonna choose the Brewers here.
All right. Moving on, Cincinnati going up against the St. Louis Cardinals. Andrew Abbott going up against Miles Michaelis. Cincinnati's -113 favorite. Over under at 9.5 runs. Who do you have in this one?
I got the Reds. You know, Andrew Abbott is on fire this year. 6-1, ERA below 2. I mean, he might show some regression soon, but I don't. He's just on fire. He's a fire lefty right now. You know, and I think the Reds should be able to take the win.
All right, yeah, give me Cincinnati as well, especially at close to a coin flip. Miles Michaelis has been okay, but I mean, he just historically the last few seasons has not been doing well. In his last game, he did well. Against Cincinnati's lineup here, we may want to focus in on Ellie De La Cruz over hits, runs, RBIs. Ellie hit a home run last night as well. But yeah, give me Ellie over 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs. Give me Cincinnati to win this game as well.
Is he
Um,
still sick? I think he threw up. Was it last game or the game before?
who,
Because
Miles
it was too hot or
Michaelis?
something? No, Eli.
Oh, Ellie? I mean, he hit
Yeah,
a home run.
Ellie.
I think
Sorry.
it might have been yesterday. But yeah, he hit a home run. I'm not worried about that at all. But
Gotcha.
yeah, I saw that. That's interesting. Too much heat exhaustion out there.
Yeah, it was
Uh,
yesterday. Okay.
Yesterday? Okay. He hit a home run and threw up at the same game. I can't parlay that, but if he could, that would have been big money right there. Moving on, Seattle, Chicago, Logan Gilbert going up against Colin Ray. Seattle's -123 favorite, over under at 11.5 runs. Um, yeah, this one's tricky because Cubs have been playing around and Seattle's lineup has been doing really well recently. Last night's game was a slugfest, but we got some. I think we're going to have some better pitching in this game than we did last night. So give me the under on the 11.5 runs. Also, I I think I'm going to take Chicago in this game. I doubt Logan Gilbert has had many at bats against this lineup. It's like maybe Kyle Tucker. Yeah, that looks about right. So kind of a risky. I was tempted to pick Seattle here, but definitely wouldn't parlay this. But give me Chicago. What about you?
Uh, it's a coin toss for me also. But I'm leaning actually the Mariners because Logan Gilbert's been actually pitching really well since he came back from injury. Um, Last game against Boston, he only had three hits and 2 runs, and then against Miami, the game before, he had 0 hits, 0 runs. So
All right. Next game, which this series has been a slugfest. Arizona going up against Colorado. Brandon Paft going up against Anderson Teza. Arizona's a -201 favorite, over under 12.5 runs. A couple things on this one. The first game these teams played was a slugfest. Arizona has won the first two, barely snuck out that first one, but kind of pulled away late. I do like Arizona here. I like Arizona -1.5. I like Corbin Carroll and Ketel Marte to go over 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs. But give me Arizona -1.5 here. What about you?
um, I'm actually leaning probably the over because Fat used to be. I was saying he looked better in the beginning of the season, but he's just fallen off a cliff. CRA away from his home stadium is above 6 now. I just think both lineups have the power to power this game over 12.5 runs. That's all I say. But
Yeah, and keep in mind this game is in Colorado and the wind is
yeah,
blowing out, so everything is any well hit balls leaving the park. Um,
yep.
so yeah, awesome. Moving on, 6 games remaining. Slade Cassani going up against JP Sears. Guardians going up against Athletics. Cleveland's a -122 favorite. Over under at 9.5 runs. Um, what are you thinking in this one here?
This is a hard game to call. JP Spears, I thought he was better, but then he's just not been playing well the last couple games. And I just hate Saccone. He's lost everything I've ever put on him. So, I think I'm just gonna go slightly lean on the Athletics here.
All right, yeah, this one's kind of difficult. Let's look at JP Sears. How did he do? What did he do in his last matchup? He went 3 1/3. Yeah, he's been garbage, and Issa Kasani's been garbage as well. So,
5 hits, 5 earned runs.
yeah, and doesn't look like this Athletics lineup's really faced him too many times. JP Sears against these team here. Eh. I think looking at this, I'm going to go Jose Ramirez. He crushes lefties. Hasn't really had a big sample size against Athletics, but give me Jose Ramirez over 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs. And I think I will take Cleveland here, though. Give me Cleveland in this matchup going against you with those Athletics. Moving on,
It's a
boss.
toss up. I wouldn't put him in a parlay, so.
Yeah, I mean, when you got two bad pitchers and Athletics probably have the better lineup overall, but yeah, it's pretty much a toss-up. Boston versus San Francisco. Lucas Giolito going up against Robbie Ray. San Francisco's a -162 favorite, and the over/under is at 7.5 runs. We do have the ball blowing out here again. Makes it difficult to attack. My first thought is to go over, but Robbie Ray's been pitching really well, and Lucas Giolito's been okay. Let me see how Lucas has done recently, so I can give a gauge. Okay, he's been pitching really well, because I was tempted to go over here, but with both the pitchers doing well, I don't think I will. But I will take San Francisco here, better pitcher. And Rafael Devers hit a home run against his former team yesterday. I think he does well again today. Give me over 2.5 hits, runs, RBIs for Rafael Devers in this matchup, and give me San Francisco. What about you?
Money line. I think they have the better lineup right now. Boston's just been trading their pieces away. And Giolito, I always go against him. He's never come through for me. So
Yeah, he has not been that great since he left Chicago. No, but moving on. Astros versus Angels. Ryan Gusto facing off against Kyle Hendricks. Houston's a -113 favorite, over under at 9 runs. And And this is another kind of matchup where we've got mediocre pitchers facing off against each other. The Angels did win last night, but Kyle Hendricks has not been that great this year. So this is a really tough one for me to call. Um, both lineups are pretty similar too. I think I'm gonna lean Angels here again. Zach Neto over 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs. I also like Jeremy Pena over 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs. Both starting players in these lineups. What about you?
Uh, I'm not gonna put this in any parlay. I'm not even gonna put any money on this game, but I'll just lean the Angels because I think Hendricks is slightly better. I don't know. Just these pitchers are so bad. Ryan Gusso's lost like 4 out of his 5 last games. Like I don't know. He's just not good. Hendricks is not good. So lean the Angels.
Oh.
No unit from me on this game.
All right. Yeah, I definitely wouldn't parlay that one. Move on to the final 3 games. We got the Nationals going up against the Los Angeles Dodgers. Michael Soraka going against Ben Katsouris, and this is again a 2-pitcher lineup here for the Dodgers, but doesn't really matter too much for me in this game. I'm still going Dodgers. I'm not doing a -1.5 on them. I'm going to pick them to win. Michael Soraka against this Dodgers lineup. He has not faced them very much, but no one really I want to target. I don't mind Otani if you want to go over hits, runs, RBIs, but give me the Dodgers in this one. Nothing really sticking out. Michael Soraka's a little bit better than his record indicates, but yeah, I don't know. This is definitely not a parlay piece for me either. What about you?
Um, I think Shohei Ohtani is not quite at where he needs to be right now. He's just coming back from like a 2-year layoff, I guess. Is it 1.5 to 2-year layoff? And last game he didn't pitch that many pitches, and they gave a lot of runs, I think.
Oh, is
So
Otani's pitching a little bit today?
yeah,
Yeah,
he's the starting pitcher.
okay.
Is that not what shows up on your end?
No, it's one of those where he's probably going to pitch an inning or two, and then Ben Katsouris is
Yeah.
probably going to take over.
Last game he pitched 1 inning. And his ERA is like 9. Let's see what happens in that game.
Let's see if they have any information on here. How many innings he's going to pitch?
Yeah. Anyways, yeah, his ERA is above 9 right now because he only pitched like 1 inning. I gave him a bunch of hits. But anyways, so I'm leaning the Dodgers, but I can also choose the Nationals plus 1.5 runs. I mean 2.5 runs.
Okay. Yeah, I could see that. That's not a bad bet here. Yeah, these last 3 games I don't really want any part of. Kansas City versus San Diego's up next. Seth Lugo versus Randy Vasquez. Um, Kansas City's favorite in this matchup. Interesting. -112.
Really?
Over under. Yeah. Over under 8.5.
ESPN has the Padres favorite -110.
Yeah, it's pretty much a pick 'em. -110s. So I mean, pick 'em money. Give me San Diego. Both similar pitchers. And then give me Caglione over fantasy points. He's been walking a lot. Very patient at the plate, which limits his ability to get hits, runs, or RBIs. So I like Caglione over over fantasy points, whatever they have it set at today. What about you?
I think I'm gonna slightly lean Kansas City, but I wouldn't bet any money on this game.
Yeah.
Seth Lugo, I think, won his last 2 games, and Vasquez lost his last 2 games. Vasquez last game against the Dodgers gave up 4 hits, 3 earned runs, so only had 2 Ks. So he's not missing a lot of bats here. And Kansas City high walk rate team. I mean, I think I'm gonna lean Kansas City, but I wouldn't put any units on here. It's really pick 'em.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, again, this is a game I would stay far away from. Um, moving on, New York Mets going up against Philly in our last matchup. David Peterson going up against Jesus Luzardo. Philadelphia is a minus 122 favorite and over under at 9.5 runs. And I'm going Mets here. Um, I'm going Mets all day. Jesus Luzardo against this Mets lineup is mediocre results, but yeah, give me Juan Soto over 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs, and give me the Mets to win this game. Who you leaning in this last matchup here?
I got the Mets here. Jesus Luzardo has not been playing well this year since he. Which team did he come from? Miami? Yeah, he came from Miami. His ERA was 5 last year. Right now, it's like sitting around uh, above 4, I think.
Yeah, he's 4.41.
Yeah, yeah. So last game he gave up 6 hits. No, 6 hits, 4 runs. 4 earned runs. Just he's not playing well right now. I think the Mets should be able to get the win.
All right. Um, Anything else from the slate you want to shout out before we kind of go through some prize pick stuff here?
Yeah. New York, Baltimore. I had a pick this morning, but we started late. But since New York is actually down 1 hit right now, maybe a better pick right now. But live bet maybe Yankees minus 1.5.
Okay. Nice take there. All right, so let's get a 5 pick, hits, runs, RBIs, and then
Five pick.
hits, runs,
I got 3
RBIs.
pick.
Oh yeah. Go ahead and do your 3 pick parlay.
My parlay, a 3 pick parlay would probably be the Jays minus 1.5, Reds and Mets.
I will go. Look here. Where's the Blue Jays game hiding from
Oh,
me?
it's not Red Sox. Okay, the Reds.
Okay. Yeah, give me Toronto minus 1.5. Give me Arizona minus 1.5, and give me. Hmm, give me. I want to go Milwaukee. Give me Milwaukee as my third part of that. So, awesome. So 5 pick parlay. I'm gonna start off with Bo Bichette over 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs. Um, I'm then going to probably go Christian Yelich here. He doesn't have one, so let's see if Churio has one. He's only got a half, 1/2. Dang. I'm gonna go over on fantasy score for Christian Yelich, assuming they have that, right? We should have that. Yep. Okay. I'm gonna go over fantasy score for Caglione. Wow, that's low.
Ooh,
That's a
but
good
what?
one. Huh?
But Wally gave me $300 bonus.
Ooh, got some extra spending funds over there. Ellie De La Cruz. Where are
Ooh.
you? Ellie.
New York is actually only minus one hit right now. And it's plus 120 live bet.
Do we need to jump in on that one?
Yeah, I'm jumping there. Jays minus 1.5. And you think the Reds will win today? Andrew Abbott versus McCallum? Cards.
Yes, I do.
I mean, cards have been on fire, but this year, but I think the Reds should be able to get it.
Yeah. All right, so I've got Bo Bichette over 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs. I've got Christian Yelich over 7.5 fantasy score. Jack Caglione over 4.5 fantasy score. Ellie De La Cruz over 1.5 hits, and Jose Ramirez over 1.5 hits. This is a 10.5x parlay. Or if you wanted to do a 5x or a flex play, not really a fan of the flex here, but there's your flex odds. But probably just give me the power play on that one. Again, price picks link in the description. $5 gets you $50 in bonus bets. Anything else you have to add before we take off today, Frank?
Nope. I'm good.